There are many scientific studies that show prescription drugs are dangerous, correct?
That's correct.
What about a drug for weight loss that was out a few years ago, Fen-Phen?
Yes, Fen-Phen was a combination of two drugs. They were both amphetamines. One was a methamphetamine product, the fenfluramine. They added 3 fluoride ions to basically a methamphetamine drug. And then they had another amphetamine-like drug too. And that combination was extremely potent in just stopping your appetite. So you didn't have any appetite at all, and you lost weight. When you're starving, you lose weight. But it also is very hyperactive. I mean, you're really buzzing. You can't sit still, can't sleep either, but your metabolism just speeds up like crazy, so you lose weight faster that way too. And it was highly effective. The problem is that the drug industry knew that fenfluramine, the one that was the trifluorinated compound, caused brain damage in monkeys. In 1975, they did a study, they published a study that showed the brain of a monkey that 18 months earlier had received 4 doses, just 4 doses of fenfluramine. They waited, I think it was 17 months, and they sacrificed the monkey, looked at the brain, and it had eliminated all the serotonin nerves virtually. There were hardly any serotonin nerves left in that monkey's brain. It destroyed serotonin nerves, and that was known to be true. They repeated that study. It destroys serotonin nerves, fenfluramine. Well, 20 years later, they put it in a compound called Fen-Phen, got it to weight loss clinics that just burgeoned across the whole United States because it was so effective in melting pounds off. They knew it caused brain damage in monkeys, and it was likely to cause brain damage in humans. They chose to use it anyway because they could get away with it. You do not do brain biopsies in humans, and that's the only way you can tell, you can prove brain damage in anybody, is if it causes, if you biopsy the brain. So they used it anyway, and after a few years, it caused heart damage and lung damage, and there were deaths and serious heart problems. So now it's banned. It's a banned drug because they could prove that it causes harm. I bet you most of those women, mostly women, losing weight, and it was highly effective for weight loss. But when they quit it, the weight came back because it didn't teach them anything about eating habits or exercise or anything like that. It was just a quick drug-induced anorexia, appetite suppression, and hyperactivity-inducing sleep loss type of drug. And you lose weight quick, but it doesn't stay off. So another reason to question the integrity of the drug industry to do something like that. You know, they got away with it. I mean, as far as the brain, there was a early study, where they gave drugs to chickens. They were amphetamine type drugs, or they were drugs that depleted serotonin from the brain and also destroyed serotonin nerves. There are certain research drugs that can actually destroy the serotonin nerves selectively. They did that in these chickens. The chickens never slept again the rest of their lives. They gave the serotonin destroying drug, and they never slept again. They could not fall asleep. Serotonin is really important for sleep.
Sounds like it, yes.
So these chickens were awake the rest of their lives. I'm sure their lives were shortened. So when you destroy serotonin nerves, you're messing with a lot of things.
But why does that suppress appetite?
Well, actually, if you destroy serotonin nerves, you have a huge appetite.
I would think. Yeah,
when you block serotonin nerves. So, but amphetamines work both as a serotonin reuptake pump inhibitor and destroying serotonin nerves, and a dopamine reuptake pump inhibitor, which overstimulates the dopamine system, which also suppresses appetite. So it has more than one mechanism of action. But when we're lacking in serotonin, our brain says, you need to eat. The only way to increase your serotonin is to eat. You try to eat meat, which has serotonin in it. But you're always hungry when your serotonin is depleted, your serotonin nerve system is depleted, or it's being blocked. And that's the explanation for the massive obesity that happens with the Zyprexa and the Risperdal, and all those antipsychotics cause obesity and ultimately diabetes in huge numbers of patients. And it's blocking the serotonin, so you're famished. You want to, because when you eat, you get some relief. Sugar, this is complicated and convoluted, but when we eat sweet sugar or carbohydrates, there's the insulin goes up. Insulin just drops the the level of all the amino acids except tryptophan. So all of a sudden there's relatively more tryptophan in the bloodstream than the other amino acids, which compete in the entry of the tryptophan into the brain. So you get a relatively more tryptophan into the brain cells, and you get this serotonin surge, and then your appetite's better.
Okay.
So high sugar food will actually raise your serotonin in the brain temporarily.
Okay.
If you block that, so then you stop eating because your serotonin is raised again temporarily, but it doesn't last for long. It's not like taking tryptophan and raising your serotonin level that way, which also suppresses appetite. 5-HTP is a good treatment for appetite suppression.
All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Coles.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.